Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. I'm back from vacation. I've been gone for like a month. We got back from vacation. Hurricane Milton hit. We had 2 days to prep for the storm, and then we lost power, we lost internet. And that was a whole thing. So I'm back. There's a ton of stuff that launched while I was gone. New iPhones, new Apple Watches, DJI Osmo Action, all of the Mac OS stuff dropped, all of the iOS and the Vision OS. I mean, there is just so much stuff that happened while I was away. So I figured I'm gonna make this video. We'll get into this. There's probably videos will be out of sync because I'm trying to like catch up with all of this stuff. But this little camera is super cool. The point of this video is I want to make a video with just the Osmo Action. So the quality may look different. I'm not using my Z9. I've got an Osmo Action above me doing my top down. I've got the Osmo Action film in here, and I'm gonna unbox this guy. These things have 46 gigs of internal storage. That's amazing. They shoot 4K 60, 4K I believe 120, 1080 240 I believe. It's got a 4-hour battery. That's insane compared to GoPro. I filmed with one of these guys during Hurricane Milton. That footage will be in here. I also did a video with it. I wanted to get it out just really quick. And I put it up against the GoPro Hero 13. And it just, I'm sorry, it walked all over it. It was incredible how good the low light capability of this camera is. The microphone is insane. Now I am recording with a DJI mic too, so that's the only extra thing I've got here. So basically this setup, except I have the Pro one here, so you're getting, I say Pro, but like the bonus version, you get like 2 extra batteries and a selfie stick in this one. And this one I've got, that's a little more money. I think this is like $450, I think, maybe $500. And then these cameras are only $350. That's not bad. So if you just did 3 cameras and you wanted to set up a YouTube studio or, you know, a vlog or whatever it may be, I want to do a video with just internal storage. So that's what we're doing. We've got 46 gigs. We're going to get through this video. I'm going to take these into the pool. They've got up to 20 meters of caseless diving. That is awesome. They have a temperature sensor built in so that the sensor sets the correct color for what it's recording. That's amazing. I can't wait to see what that looks like. It's got a pressure gauge, so the minute it hits the water, it's like my Apple Watch. It hits the water and it kicks on and starts recording. So we're gonna take it into a pool. We're gonna test that out. We've already tested it in Hurricane Milton. You know, just also, the other thing is I'm not recording in any kind of log or HDR content, anything like that. I am recording in stock footage. So if you are someone who's not familiar with editing or with any kind of color grading, that is what this video is kind of for, is to show you what these cameras come with and what can you do just out of the box. Hit record and go. That's what you want out of an action camera, right? You want to grab the camera, you want to hit record, and you want to get into the action. You don't want to worry about what's the color, what's the frame rate, what's all this. So yes, that stuff is very important depending on what you're doing, but in some cases, you just want to hit it and, you know, have it hit the shot that you need and get it. So let's get this out of the box. Let's see what's in this box, and I'll tell you what you get with the regular just Osmo Action 5 Pro. And yeah, I cannot wait to show you what this camera can do. So let's get into the video. All right, so let's get this thing out of the box and see what comes in this like Pro kit, I'll call it. I believe it's like the creators combo, something like that. It's basically, it's the one that comes with a couple extra batteries. It's not the standard just base camera, right? Another thing is that when I'm recording, I'm gonna go back and forth. So I've got the DJI Mic 2 with a lav on, but I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these audio and just kind of flip back and forth to let you hear what it sounds like. Like maybe you don't want to purchase a DJI Mic 2. Maybe you don't have the money to purchase a DJI Mic 2 and you just want to get what's out of the camera. I have been super impressed with what they can do. So I want to like let you hear that. So let's go ahead, let's get this out of the box here. I really, really like these cameras. I have to say, the use that I got out of it when I filmed in Milton was amazing. It was just incredible. So first thing, we got this. This is all little packages that come out of it. We've got this really pretty heavy selfie stick here. It does extend that. Man, that extends. That is the width of my table and a little bit more than that. So that is a decent selfie stick. pretty hefty too. It's got a quarter mount down here, thread, so you could screw this into a tripod. You've got your regular GoPro like mount system here, your action camera mount there. So that is really cool. That comes in this kit. I believe, like I said, I think this kit is either $450 or $500. I don't remember the exact price. I can throw it up at the bottom so that you know. And let's go ahead and go through the accessories here real quick that it comes with. We've got this awesome magnet action camera mount. This thing is incredible. I love this thing. All action cameras should just come with this. I don't know why they don't. I don't know why GoPro makes you pay extra for this, but this should come with every camera. It's amazing. I love it. Yeah, that's my take on it. So that does come, so I'll note this as I go. This does come in the standard kit. So you get this with just the base camera when you get it. You do get a regular USB-C to USB-C cable in the standard kit as well. Now what you are not gonna get, and this is something that's really, really cool, is you get this battery case. So this is a 3-charger battery case. It comes with 3 batteries, and I'm gonna be interested to see if one comes in the camera too. I doubt it, but I'm betting this is just all 3 of the batteries. But this is really sleek. This is the first time opening this kit. And it's really nice. DJI is getting really good with their products. I like what they're doing with their batteries, their drones, the new Avata 2, like that sleek battery charger, really cool. So this is a really nice battery case here. We got our standard like light cut telling you to download their apps. Instruction manual and stickers is basically what's in this accessory pouch here. So we'll set this stuff over here. So again, this does not come with the standard kit. This does, again, this selfie stick as well. Let me go ahead and get this stuff out of the way. So let's get into the camera here. And I am in love with this camera. It's a great camera. So one thing that you get with both the standard kit and also with this kit is you get this cage. So this is a cage. It does not separate entirely. I do kind of wish it did. I feel like you have to like shove the camera in there, and I'll show you that in just a second. But I do love this cage. I have a small rig cage around my GoPro that I bought on my Hero 10, and I've had it on my 11, and then I skipped the 12, and now I have the 13, and it fits the 13. So if you have a GoPro cage from like small rig or something, heads up, that will fit. Just little plug there. Anyway, so you do get this with the kit, the standard kit. You also get, let me see here. You may get an extra mount, it looks like. That's impressive. You do, okay. So you get 2 of these magnetic mounts. I do not believe in the standard kit. I'll have to go back and look at it, and I'll throw it up at the bottom again if I'm mistaken. But I do not believe you get 2 of the magnetic mounts. I'll have to go back and look. And then you get this camera. This camera is awesome. It's super tiny, and it's got dual touchscreens. So the front is a touchscreen and the back is a touchscreen, and they're OLED and they are tack sharp. It's really, really cool. Why GoPro? Why? You were like the lead in all action cameras. Why do you not do the stuff that other cameras have shown that is better now? I love, like I can write this camera right here in front of me. Like I can just swipe down and interact with the camera. Same thing above me. I've got the ability to interact with stuff from either side of the camera, and it's really, really helpful. So that's really cool. You do get this standard lens guard that goes around this. I don't know. I'm assuming they make like ND filters and this screws off. I don't have those yet, so that's just something to note. You do have a USB-C port here that is sealed. It's really nice. It is accessible through this cage. And then you have your standard mount here, so I'll flip this around and you just throw that in there. And I mean, you've got, that is just, like it's not going anywhere. This thing is in there. It's awesome. I love it. Every single action camera should have that. You also have this little 3M mount, like helmet mount or something here, and then you've got these anti-slip pads. I forgot about that, is included in the standard kit too. And then you have the regular threads here, the screws for the GoPro mount system here. So let's go ahead, let's pop this in here really fast. Let me see if I remember how to do this. There we go. So you pop this open here, and you want to put the record button there. And this is what I mean. It's a tight fit. I mean, I know it's meant to be, it's supposed to be a cage, but it's a tight fit. But what this cage does is gives you, not only do you have your bottom magnetic mount, but you also have a side mount. So right now, above me, I am filming holding the camera on the side like this and doing a top down. So that is really cool. You can also film in, portrait. You could film in landscape, mount it over here. It gives you some really good mounting options. And I mean, if you've got two of these, why not throw both of them on? You just, there you go, like throw that on and you'd have your helmet mount here or something. Like, it's really, really handy, really, really good. So let me go ahead, let me turn this camera on and I'll sync it up to my phone and all of that. And we're gonna go out, we're gonna test this in a pool. So I've already got the video for Hurricane Milton. Tested the microphones, love it. Hopefully the DJI mic is doing well. I have not tested this with the DJI mic in a lav, so that is that's completely untested. And the other thing is that I have not tested this in an echoey room. So right now you are getting just the raw audio from the camera. I'm gonna flip back and forth here and you will hear what the mic sounds like from the camera, probably from this guy up here. So it might be a little weird because I am talking to this camera, but it's really cool. And I will say the setup for this is super simple. If you have 3 of these cameras, I have to set up my Z9 and I have to like get all of the stuff and the big tripod out and all of the stuff. I've got the little Insta360 10 foot selfie stick in front of me with the Insta360 like tripod base. That's how I'm filming this. Now I do have my standard mount above me that I'm using, I put my iPhone on for my top downs. So I'm very interested to see how this comes out. I apologize ahead of time if it's terrible quality. I am filming in 4K 60, no pro settings. This is just literally slap it into 16:9, I believe, 4K 60 and go. That's what I'm filming in. So if you want to know my camera settings, that's what I'm using. That's what I will use through this entire video. The only time is that when I did the shoot for Milton, I did use the night mode. I believe that was 4K 60 as well, or 4K 30. I'll have to go back and check, but I did use the night mode. So that's the only thing is I will go through the modes. This also has a tracking mode. Like it tracks like my Osmo Pocket 3. I've not used that yet, and I'm really interested to see how that works. I may use that when I go out in the pool, because I want to know, like, how is this thing tracking you? Like it doesn't turn on its own, right? Like I'm assuming it crops in and then you've got to like make sure you stay in the frame, but still, that's really cool. That is just, this is a great little camera. I love so far the quality I'm seeing out of this. And I love the fact that it's got a pressure gauge in it. That's like my Apple Watch. I mean, that's cool. You jump in the water and bam, your camera's recording. You don't even have to think about it. So you've got your standard record button here. You've got your power on button here. One thing I didn't do, I didn't even check to see if this had a battery in it. I should check that. So let's go ahead and pop this out just real fast. And I'll show you again one more time on camera, just how, I like that it's a cage. Don't get me wrong. And okay, take this off, makes it easier. But it's still a little bit of a pain to get out. And maybe I'm missing something. I could be entirely. But I wish that this was just a little bit, I wish this disconnected here and would allow me to like open the cage up just a little bit wider. But that's just me personally. So let's slide this up and yeah, like I thought, there is no battery. So all 3 batteries in this Pro version or whatever the name is, I'll throw it up at the bottom and link it down in the description. And then you get 2 other batteries and this charger. So that is really cool. I haven't noted this yet. It takes 40 megapixel images or the equivalent, I think. Where was that? It said it somewhere, I read it. It's like equivalent of like 40 or relative to 40 megapixels. That's really, really good. Again, gonna do this on hopefully only 46 gigs. We're gonna see what we can get, and let's get into the video. Let's check this thing out. Let's see what it can do. We've already seen Milton. Let's go get outside. Let's do some action-y stuff with this camera and see what kind of quality we can get out of it. All right, so we're outside now and I'm gonna check something out. So this camera has a depth gauge in it and that is really cool. So supposedly, as soon as I enter the water, it should auto start recording. So I've got a camera here that is recording the camera in front of it, and that's the camera that I'm going to go ahead and use as the test to see when it hits the water, does it turn on? And we're gonna hopefully see that in the shot. I've got the camera kind of stacked behind it here, and I'll show it in the output. Now, one thing you do have to do is you have to swipe down, you have to go into settings here, and you have to scroll down until you see depth and altitude. Go into diving and turn on auto record. That is when this should kick on at that point. So if that's not on, you will not be able to use this feature, and we're gonna test it out right now. So I'm gonna jump in the pool. We're
We're gonna see if it works, and I'll get the goggles, we'll go into the water. It also supposedly gives you like how deep you are, so a lot like my Apple Watch, which is really, really cool. So let's go ahead, let's test this out. Into the cold water we go. Woo. That's freaking cool.
So when I just did that, the camera actually bent when it jumped in the pool. So I don't know if that got it on camera. We're gonna try it one more time, and we're gonna
See if it worked real fast. But it didn't. It doesn't look
like it auto recorded. Let me see here. Let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and show you this on the camera, and that it did not work. So I don't know if that's a not deep enough.
Okay, so let me make sure that this is actually working here. This is having a little bit of a problem focusing, which is very interesting.
Maybe that it's too close, because right there I think it's focused pretty good, but yeah, it may be that this is really, really close here. So I'm trying to do this with
one hand, and all right, so go back here. Doesn't like that I have water on my hands.
So auto record camera will automatically start recording once the water depth is displayed. So possibly I didn't get deep enough. This is about a 6.5 foot, 7 foot pool. So let's try this again and see if
it will actually work this time. So here we go. We're gonna go for round 2. We're gonna
go in to try to get the deepest end here, and I'm gonna try to record.
Here we go. Woo! Look at that.
It's cold. Man, that's cold. Again, I don't think that this recorded. And sorry, it's been a little cold here in Florida, and so the water is a little frigid. Let's put it that way. So I'm gonna grab the goggles, and we're gonna go under. I'm gonna try to catch my breath here, and we are gonna actually see if I can get this to work, because currently it does not look like it's recording. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I really want to kind of test this out. So we got the goggles out of here. We're going to go ahead and test this and see if it works. So here we go. All right, so I tested it. It does indeed work. You've got to get it low enough. So if you're using this, sorry, I'm trying to swipe up here and unlock the screen, which I really love, by the way. This front facing touchscreen, it's really, really good. But as you saw there, it did actually record, and I've got that working now. So that is really cool. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back up here, and we're going to do a slow motion jump. I'm going to shut off my other camera, and then we'll see what it looks like in 140 frames a second and 240 frames a second. And then I'm going to do one more where I jump in, and we'll see how it tracks me as I'm jumping. So let's check that out. Okay, so right now on the camera over here at across the pool, I'm running the 240 frames a second 1080p slow-mo, and right here I am running the 4K 60, and we're going to go ahead and do the horizon balance, right? So this is supposed to horizon level, horizon lock as I jump in. So no matter what I do, theoretically it should keep the horizon level within reason, I believe. So here we go. We're going to jump in the pool again. We're going to see how this works and see if it will keep me, because obviously my arms go around, move around like that, so I don't always keep the camera perfectly dead straight. So let's go ahead and see if it will work. Here we go. Going in again.
All right, so I've got 4K 120 over here on this camera, and I'm recording 2.7K 30 9x16 on this camera with subject tracking on. So that's just to know that if you're doing subject tracking, it's gonna do that. So I'm very interested to see. I'm gonna let this just kind of like fly as I'm jumping and move around, and I can kind of show you the footage afterwards. Hopefully it's working. Also note, I don't have any microphones on. Why? Because I'm not jumping in the pool with my DJI, mic 2, right? It's gonna totally trash it. So the mics and the audio is strictly coming from these cameras. So depending on which one, I can switch back and forth. I have the one across the pool from me, and I have this one, which is like right next to me. So let's go ahead. We're gonna do another jump in the pool. We've got 4K 120. Let's see what it looks like in slow motion.
All right, that was cold again. So again, we've got the subject tracking on, and that is really cool. It's actually got a box right here on the camera, and it is tracking me very similarly to my DJI Osmo Pocket 3, right? So it's throw it up, I'll put it on the selfie stick, throw it away a little bit, and it's tracking pretty good. I mean, I'm gonna got it over here, I'm gonna turn it away. Just wanna see what it does, right? That is really neat.
Let's go ahead. Let's check this one more time. See if we can get it to work. Here we go. Recording.
Nope. Still does not work. So I don't know what the problem is. Maybe it's this camera. Let me go ahead. I'll switch cameras real fast and we'll check out one other camera.
So let's see if this works.
All right. So that is a second camera tested. It does not activate instantly. I don't know what the problem is, but it doesn't activate. So something to keep in mind is that it's a cool feature, but it's not always going to kick on when you want it to, at least in my testing thus far. All right, so we will continue to test this camera out. Don't want to make the video super long, but really still love the colors I'm getting from the DJI. Now again, I'm not using any kind of fancy settings. I've got this set on 8-bit, so it kind of gives you an idea. This is 8-bit color, not 10-bit, but it is capable of 10-bit. That might be the only thing you want to change and switch over to a pro setting, is you do get that 10-bit color recording at that point, or 10-bit color gamut, rather. So just something to keep in mind, but we will keep testing and do a couple more stress tests on this camera. But thus far, I really think this may be something that I want to put into my bag and keep with me, maybe even over my GoPro.
Okay, so right now I have this one on Rocksteady and I have this one on Rocksteady Plus. So we're gonna see what they are. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off a step thing at my house and see just how steady they get. I've also got my other camera recording over there, and I'm trying to slam this video together as quick as possible. So let's go ahead. I'll write off the steps here. I've got that camera recording over there, and I've got these all on. We'll see what the Rocksteady and the Rocksteady Plus, what the difference is. I'll switch between them. Also, this is still in 4K 60. The only difference I did change is I have put these in high bit rate just to see what the difference is. So I went in and did that. But besides that, it's basic camera settings, no special like pro or anything like that. So here we go. We're gonna ride off the edge, and we'll do it like 1 or 2 times and just see how stable it really is. Let's do it. All right, and I lost. All right, so I lost the camera on the bike, which I kind of figured, and I will try to get this back in here. That's looking at me is 4K 60, and then the camera on my head is 4K 120, and then the one behind me that's filming me is 4K 120. Also, I have that one sitting right next to my AC unit, so theoretically that should give you a good idea of like what that mic would sound like. As I drive by, I'm gonna try to talk and ride the bike at the same time, driving by that microphone right here, just to give you an idea of what, with a AC unit sitting directly underneath it, and then me talking as I go by, like what that audio quality would sound like. So here we go, we're gonna do this one more time. Let's do it. All right, so we're on the thing, we're jumping, here it is. Okay, yeah, that was awesome. All right, I don't know, I had to come up with something to say. So I'm riding around the yard, this camera, and I'll show it on the top, hopefully it's picking it up, is shaking like crazy. It's like wobbling back and forth. So I'm really interested to see how this pans out in the actual like video once I actually see it, because dog, that camera is wobbling all over the place. So this is just an idea of like
not ideal conditions for mounting a camera to a bike or to something that you're doing in an action-y type scene. So let me pull over here. I'm gonna go ahead, park right next to this microphone over here. You can see me there, and I'm gonna be talking. So I have the microphone on my bike, I have the microphone next to my AC unit, and then I have my lav. And this should give you a really good idea of what this microphone sounds like with, I mean, literally where my arm is right here. You can see it on that camera. I mean, I don't know, 3 feet, 2 feet away from me is the AC unit. So this is definitely a really good sound check. So that has been a really quick test on like the stability. I'm really hoping it works. Oh yeah, there goes that camera. All right, so that was just I actually lost, wow. So to give you an idea, I lost the camera on my helmet, or sorry, on my hat, as well as the camera here. So that hopefully that'll come through. It'll just be another check of what it looks like if you were to really jump off of something. And I've got Rocksteady Plus again up here, 4K 120, and I've got Rocksteady right here, 4K 60. So let's hop back inside and I'll give you my final thoughts on the camera. All right, so we are back. We are inside. I have tested these cameras out, this camera out. I love this camera. I took it to the pool. I did some slow motion on it and it was really good. The auto on feature worked 1 out of the 4 times that I tried to get it to activate while diving in the pool. It was about a 7-foot pool. I put it all the way at the bottom. It still didn't auto kick on. So I don't know. I tried 2 different cameras. Neither one did. So I don't know what the issue was there, but hey, it's there. It's a feature. I would not rely on it, as I stated when I was in the pool. I put this on a bike. The footage was pretty stable from what I could tell, and I really have to say the Rocksteady mode is pretty good. And the mics on the mics, just built in straight out of camera, are great mics. If you don't have a DJI Mic 2 and you just need to use these, they are very usable. There's also a setting you can set in the camera to do like a backup audio feed or backup audio save file, so you can do that. I tested out a lot of the different shooting modes. Right now I've got this camera shooting in 16:9. I shot it in 9:16 while at the pool, and I've got it in tracking mode, so like I can move and it should keep me in frame as much as the frame obviously has, but it's really, really cool. Works a lot like the Pocket does. That's cool. I tested out the 240 slow-mo, the 120, 4K. They looked cool. I believe in the 240 you lose audio if you do the slow motion mode on the actual setting on the camera, so just keep that in mind. I love, love, love this touchscreen. Every action camera should have this. It's another thing that can get broken, but I've got a screen protector on here. So within reason, this is protected. I got a screen protector back here and a lens guard on here. So like you can keep this camera safe if you need to. The cage, I love the cage. I love that it comes with the cage. And a little annoying, you have to take the cage off to swap the battery. That's something I wish was different, but I understand because right there is where the battery goes. And so when you're popping this camera on and off, you know, I understand, and there you go. I mean, that's pretty rock steady. I've bent the mount or shook the mount, you know, before it will knock that off the magnetic mount. So that is really cool. The selfie stick that comes with this, really good. I really like this camera. It is a great camera. If you are somebody who's trying to start a YouTube channel, do a vlog, whatever it may be, honestly, 3 of these, in my opinion, especially if you switched it over to 10-bit and you did some more of the like critiquing of the settings, which I have not done here. These are all 8-bit and like 6K or 4K 60, or maybe like 2.7K and the 16:9 ratio, stuff like that. And the slow-mo I think was 1080 if I remember correctly, a couple of them. But besides that, if you go into the pro settings, you can do a lot with this camera. And so you can have a top down, you can have a talking, you know, head camera, and you can have a third camera for $1,000, $900, $1,000, maybe $1,300, depending on what model you get of this. Also, if you want to get a DJI Mic 2, and you want to get like a lav or something, but that's a pretty good YouTube setup. And I'll be honest with you, this is so much simpler. It's not maybe as good as my Z9, obviously smaller sensor, smaller camera, but the setup is so much faster.
and the ability to touch the screen and interact with the camera just right here, or look up and the camera's above you like this, and I'm touching the screen and setting it and I can see what the camera's seeing. It's awesome. You may have to do some cropping in to lose some of the ultra wideness of this camera, but it's a great camera. It really is a good camera. I honestly prefer this over my GoPro. Yeah, GoPro shoots 5.7K, but at the end of the day, if this has more features and has a better mic and does better, 4K, 5.7K, I'm not gonna argue over that. It's not like 8K versus 4K, right? Like, I'm not gaining a whole lot more in croppability. But yeah, that has been my review and my testing of the DJI Action 5. I love this camera. I really can't say enough about it. I'm not paid by DJI. I literally bought all 3 of these cameras with my own money. I'm gonna have to send at least 2 of them back. I may have to send the 3rd one. I really do like the camera. I wanna keep it. Plug to Best Buy. I love Best Buy's subscription service where you pay, I think it's like $200 a year, and you get like the insurance with it for 2 years. Obviously you have to pay $200, so it's $400 for 2 years. But anyway, I've got like $8,000 to $10,000 worth of product covered with Best Buy's warranties. And I've really had good luck with Best Buy, at least for me, TVs, stuff like that. So if you're in the market, I strongly suggest Best Buy picking these up. That's where I got these. I will be doing a whole lot more. I've got the DJI Neo that I have. I've got the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. I'm gonna check out, very interested about that. I've just got in my iPhone 16 Pro Maxes, finally, yes, and there's a whole lot more to come because we have so much stuff in Techtober, it's insane. It's a cool time of year, and I cannot wait to continue checking out all of this tech. So again, I hope you liked the video, and if you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, share, and we will see you in the next video.